Hi everyone, in this video we're going to go over another Leetcode question, valid parentheses. Major tech companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft are asking this question while they're conducting their technical interviews. I hope you will find this video tutorial helpful for your technical interview preparation. Let's start with reading the question. Given a string containing just the characters, open and close parentheses, open close curly brackets, open and close brackets, determine if the input string is valid. Sorry if I read it wrong. So these are just the parentheses, opening and closing ones. An input string is valid if open brackets must be closed by the same type of brackets. Open brackets must be closed in the correct order. Note that an empty string is also considered valid. Example 1. Opening parentheses and closing parentheses. So this is true if we are matching the same. This is again true if they are matching the same. Opening, closing. So every time you open, you need to match the same. Opening, closing, so this is true as well. This is false, different brackets. This is again false. And this is again true, opening and closing. So as you go here, you need to open and close and open and close. So how are we going to solve this question? Let's get on the whiteboard and try to solve it. This is a very common question, by the way. It's you may come across different types of this question. For example, this is Dijkstra's two-stack algorithm for expression evaluation. Is very similar. It's where you use stacks to create the objects and pushing it onto the stacks and popping, etc. This is very similar as well. So you will see variations of this question everywhere. So let's see this in the code. So here we are given this string. We are going to use stack data structure to solve this question. Stacks work in LIFO order, last in, first out order. So whatever is at the top of the stack will be out first. So what we need to do is we need to put all the opening brackets into the stack. And when we come across each closing brackets, each character here, we need to check the top of the stack. Is the character at the top of the stack matching my character or not? If that's the case, I will return true. Otherwise, I will return false. So let's see how it works. For example, here we start. We add this character on top of the stack. Let's not consider this for a second. We are going with this one. We put this on top of the stack. And we put this on top of the stack. So we lined up in the stack. And this is last in, first out order. So when we come to the closing brackets in the string, we are going through the string in a for loop one by one, and we are comparing each character as we come across. In the code, it looks like this. We go through the array. As we come across each character at I and check if it's an opening character or a closing character. If this is an opening character, we are pushing this on top of the stack one by one. So here's our stack, and we compare as we come across each character. We check. This is our character that we come across after putting all of these on top of the stack. We pick the last character from the stack and check if it's matching our closing character. Are these two a match? And then we simply pop this from the stack. When we pop the item, we remove the item from the very last item and return it. So we pop this item. And as we go through, check the second character. Are these, so now this is at the top of our stack. The second character is here. Let's clean it up a little bit. Second character is here. And this is popped. And we are comparing these two characters. Are they matching? Yes. So we pop this one as well. If they're not matching, then we are returning false. That means there's a different character, they're not matching character. So there's one character extra than the other one, so we return false. And finally, we check this one and this one. Are they matching? Yes. So pop this one. Finally, if there's any item in our stack, then we need to return if our stack is empty. If it's not empty, then that means it's false. We return false. It should be empty. We should be emptied out all the stacks by popping one by one from the top of the stack. So let's go through in the code. We create our stack. It's a character stack. We go through the length of the string for each character one by one. First, check if the character we come across is one of these characters, one of the opening characters. In the question, we are giving only 3 characters, and we need to select the opening ones. We are only pushing the opening ones to the stack. If that's the case, we push them to the stack one by one. Since it's on LIFO order, when we start popping, we should start popping from the last one. For example, we continue in the for loop, checking character by character. When we come across the closing ones, there are 2 more checks we need to do. First, is the stack empty? Are we looking at an empty stack? If that's the case, if the stack is empty, then we simply return false. We don't need to continue anymore, because what we are looking for is not in the stack. And there's one character extra here. Otherwise, peek the last character and match it if that's the closing of what I'm looking for. If they are matching, simply pop the last item from the stack and continue iteration on the next character. So this way we will go through all the characters here. And that applies for the other characters as well. This one and this one as well. Check the empty. This one and this one. We are popping one by one. Otherwise returning false. And finally, we will check if stack is empty. If it's empty, if it's not empty, then we are returning false. If it's empty, then we are returning true. So this is pretty much it for this question. And let's see this in the code, how it works. It looks cleaner here. So we have a character stack. We go through the characters one by one. Check each of the characters' openings, pushing them onto the stack. Check with the closing ones. And peek from the stack. So we have the closing character, and we are peeking from the stack as well. They should match. And stack should not be empty. That's another rule that we are looking for. If all of them works, finally we return stack that empty. Otherwise we return false. If stack is not empty, we return false here anyway. So let's go submit it and see. This one worked. So this is pretty much it for this question. Again, there are many variations of this question. So I hope you found this video tutorial helpful, and I will have more videos coming up. So if you subscribe to my channel, we can meet again in the near future. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.